What's going on, guys? Welcome back to No Reserves Radio. I'm your host, Rehn. With me, as always, Angelo. A little bit of housekeeping. First off, fixed keyboard gate. It took me way too long to do. Actually, from the last time we recorded, I still hadn't fixed it, and I've just been vibing with an unusable keyboard. But I figured I wanted to be actually able to, search things while we're doing this. So I did
And
Google
now
how
I
to fix
have to
it.
make you search for extra things now that I know that.
We don't have a guy in the chair right now. We need a guy in the chair. Also, good thing we're not doing this like, cameras, the face cam shit, YouTube, whatever. Because up here in the upper Midwest, it's really fucking hot. So, and I'm in a new space, and I forgot to turn the air on, and it's really fucking hot in here. So I am doing this sans pants. I mean, I have things on, but you don't need to see that. So I'm sparing you from that. That's why we don't actually do like, the face cam thing, because
It
half the
don't
time I don't have a shirt on. And like, this isn't OnlyFans. There's not a no reserves OnlyFans as far as I know yet.
it
Yet.
don't matter. I got central air because I'm not a loser like you, but
I have central air, but I had it off while I was at work, like a respectful citizen who cares about the environment, even though
dumbass.
I think it's actually worse. Like, I know it's worse for your bill if you leave it off and then,
Well, yeah,
but
because then it takes longer and
it
it
has
has
to
to
heat.
ramp
Yeah,
back
yeah,
up to
yeah, yeah.
get your temperature down. It takes about 1 to 2 hours to like lower your temperature in the house by 2 degrees. So yeah,
Now I know it's worse for your bill, but I don't know if it's worse for the environment. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm a
I
hero.
imagine it would have to be worse for the environment because the startup takes
I
longer.
am
Like
going
startup is
to
where most of the
pretend
energy is
I
consumed.
am a hero.
You're
Okay?
not a hero. You're a dumbass, and it's okay.
I am going to pretend. It makes me feel better. I enjoy it. Um,
Okay, Captain Underpants.
I'm comfy. Um, so before we get into free agency and trades from the opening of free agency, which I don't know, we weren't like in like a chat or anything at the time, but like it felt like a really slow start to free agency, because I think I started tuning in to all the channels at 5 p.m. on the first, and it I feel like last year everything started happening like 10 minutes into free agency, and this year I don't remember there being anything big until like way later in the night, which was unfortunate because I had a whole like spread of food. I was enjoying myself. Free agency is
What was the
Christmas
first one?
number.
Was it Ja? Was the Ja deal the first one that we talked about?
Uh yeah, I think Jaw was the first big one, and I think that happened actually after I went to bed, because I think Austin put it in the group chat. I think that was after I had like given up for the night, shut off the streams, and just went to bed. Because I think I woke up to that one, but I think that was the first big one. But before we get to talking about the cavalcade of things that have happened since the last time we talked to y'all, um, if you follow the G League at all,
Cavalcade is
they've been
wild.
using what?
Cavalcade is wild, but go on.
I mean, there's a lot that happened. A lot of really bad trades, a lot of okay signings. Bad for one team. One team in each of the big trades that have happened, I think one team gets an A plus and the other gets an F plus. Like, it's bad. Um, how some of these people haven't been fired, but I'm a fan of a baseball team that has a manager that should have been fired. So, just sidebar, because this pissed me off, and I'm just going to talk about it. Okay,
Hmm.
this is the precursor to the No Reserves Baseball podcast that's eventually coming. Eventually, whenever we feel like doing
Oh,
it.
you're
Eventually,
foreshadowing now? Okay.
I. So I am a fan of the Royals. I don't think we've ever talked about like our baseball fandom on here. We might have done it at one point.
I might have.
Yeah, we might have talked about it like briefly, but JJ Piccolo, who's the GM of the Royals, basically gave a press conference. And if you follow the MLB, the American League Central, or the American League in general, is probably the worst it's ever been, and the Royals are in last place, and like it's obvious why. And I shit you not, and I didn't put this in the group chat because I felt like bringing it up on here and I had forgot about it. Um, Basically, what he said is he was understanding of how upset the fans were,
That's good.
He's not very concerned about being 15th of 15. I'm not trusting the process. And then his main point was that their focus should be to drive revenue. That's what we want to do. It's a big motivator for us.
Interesting.
And John Sherman, who's the owner, is just allowing this man to.
So I guess how does that make you feel as a fan watching like the product be
So
pitiful? Let's just be honest, pitiful.
so
And
so can I
16 games under 500 and go ahead.
So, do you remember back during like the dueling eras between the Indiana Pacers and the Miami Heat when Paul George and LeBron James were going back to back and dapping it up at center court? And the
Yeah.
Pacers had a legitimate chance to get Anthony Davis, but it would have sent them into luxury tax territory, and the owner said absolutely not. And like the Pacers took the Heat to 7 games, and if you had a player like Anthony Davis in his prime on those Pacer teams, they probably would have won it all, probably back to back, because Paul George
Same
and Anthony
probably
Davis
is
at
a
that
stretch,
time.
but yeah. Okay.
I don't think it's probably like Paul George and Anthony Davis in their primes. Like I'm not. You have recency bias. Go look at like 2013 and look at those two. Like MVP conversations, all defensive conversations. Like you have a team that went to 6 or went to 7 against that Heat team. I am bleeding really badly. Went to 7 against those Heat teams. You don't think that Anthony Davis moves the needle on those teams? It would have happened. So I'm a fan of small market teams that refuse to spend money, and I'm a fan of small market teams that continually hire bad coaches. Like the Pacers had Nate McMillan for so fucking long, even though the man could not draw up an offensive play if you were offering him $1 billion that was actually fluid. So seeing the Royals general manager basically say that Matt Quatrero is here to stay is about par for the course for the teams I'm a fan of. Like, I'm a Penguins fan as well. And Dan Bilesma inherited a team that had Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Jordan Staal, Marc-Andre Fleury, Chris Letang, Brooks Orpik, all these like Hall of Fame or near Hall of Fame players. And basically coasted to a Stanley Cup. And everyone acted like it was because of him. No, it's because he inherited the team halfway through a season, won the cup that season because he didn't do anything and let the future Hall of Fame players do future Hall of Fame players things. And then Dan Bilesma got a really, really, really fucking long leash. And I think that the Royals playoff run, they didn't do anything, but 2 years ago where they actually made the playoffs, did a lot of heavy lifting for that man's career. So yeah, no, I'm kind of used to it. Though the Penguins are not a small market team. The rest of my fandom is a small market team that refuses to spend money. So, it's par for the course, my guy. Like, I just find it funny that the guy that you're entrusting with building a franchise to win World Series is saying, no, we just care about revenue. We don't. You get more revenue from going deep in the playoffs. So shut the fuck up and do it. Anyway, that was my soapbox for the day. Angelo's will come a little later. Recapping. If you followed the G League since 2019, they've been testing a new rule to kind of increase the pace of the games, which is the one-shot free throw rule. So I don't actually know how one works.
Is it what, you hit one, you get 2 points?
No, but there's 3 tiers. So there's a shot for 1 point, a shot for 2 points, and a shot for 3 points. I need to look that up because I don't have the answer for how you shoot for one, and that's just like technical free throws, which would make sense. So basically, instead of you get 2 shots, which would completely fuck up some teams because there's a lot of teams that have a 2 shots chant every time their team is shooting a free throw. If you get fouled on a 3-point attempt, you take 1 free throw attempt for 3 points. If you get fouled on a 2-point attempt, you get 1 free throw for 2 points. How do you feel about that rule? Because I am conflicted in a lot of ways. Because you're basically saying not all free throws are equal.
Yeah.
Well, there's no basically, that's what you're saying. And like, I think
It won't shock you to learn that the person who's a baseball fan does not like changes to tradition. But I will say there are some changes baseball made that I wasn't a fan of initially that then, after seeing them implemented, changed my mind, like the ABS system. That said, if I'm hearing you correctly, a foul on a 3-point shot is worth 3 points? Just one shot?
Just one shot for 3 points. You don't have to make all three. You just have to make one.
Wouldn't that drastically affect
increase the flopping on 3 points?
Well, not only that, drastically increase scoring.
I don't.
Maybe not drastic. Well, 3-pointers.
You've gotta like think about it. Like a lot of those high volume 3-point shooters are also really good free throw shooters. So I don't think it would like drastically increase scoring. You're talking about a percent margin of like 10, which in a vacuum, yeah, that's a lot. But like they also do miss free throws, so like you're also going to drastically drop scoring. If you're going to say you're drastically increasing scoring, you're drastically dropping scoring, right? So if you get fouled on a 3-point shot, you miss the first, you make 2, your team is up 2, or you get 2 points. If we do this one free throw rule, you take one shot, your team's up 3. You miss one, your team doesn't get those 3 points. They don't get any of them. So if you made 1 of 3 versus 0 of 3 is essentially what you're arguing there. So it could go either way. I am interested in trying it. They are testing this in Summer League, which Summer League starts tomorrow. Right? Yeah. Summer League starts tomorrow. But who fucking cares about Summer League? Like I didn't even it doesn't matter. I barely watch preseason. I'm not watching Summer League. I'll tune in for a couple games. Do you in general think that idea is worth trying, or do you think it's just a waste of time to even try it?
The idea of I think it's worth trying for the simple fact that
it speeds up games.
It
speeds up games.
Well, not only, yes, one, it speeds up games, but 2, it also kind of increases the skill gap of the players themselves because you'll have a higher advantage on if you shoot a higher percent from the free throw.
But I feel like it's going to increase flopping on 3-point shots. Just in principle, I think it's going to encourage it more. And I think I think if you're going to do this one shot thing, you have to stick to the rule that is written about flopping and start holding these players accountable for theatrics. Like, it should be a technical foul for the other team. You don't even go to the line. Fuck you. Try again next time. Maybe actually shoot it. Like, that's what pisses me off about a lot of those, like, high flopping players.
You sound like old man yells at cloud right now. I hope you know that.
No. But it's like, we know Victor Wembanyama is good. We know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is good. We know Jalen Brunson is good. They don't need to flop. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is probably... I'm going to piss people off, but he's probably up there with MJ for mid-range scoring in terms of all time. Like, he is one of the best mid-range shooters we've ever seen.
You just pissed off a lot of Bulls fans.
I know.
Honestly, you just pissed off a lot of Bulls people.
Yeah, but
welcome to the dark side, Rehn.
You can be a realist. I had a conversation with someone the other day because we were talking about the World Cup. And this was someone I was interacting with. I don't actually know them, but they were talking about when they were a kid watching Pele. And they were talking about how their child was saying that Messi or Ronaldo or Neymar were the GOATs of soccer. And I was like, I mean, yeah, probably at this point. Like, Messi has passed Pele, Maradona, all of them. Like, he's fucking Messi. That doesn't mean that Pele wasn't good. Like, I can acknowledge LeBron James is probably the greatest player of all time. But what I struggle with is the fact that LeBron plays in a completely different era. If MJ played in this era, where pace is so much higher, defense is so much more lax, like, how many times do you watch a game and it looks like a 2K game where one of the players on defense's controllers have, like, they just don't move?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that wasn't the case when Jordan played. And that's not to say that Jordan had an easier time or LeBron has an easier time. And that's the problem with debating eras is it's infinite. You can't do it. So, like, while I'm comfortable saying LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time, I'm saying that with the caveat that Michael Jordan could have been. We don't know because he didn't play in an era where 3-point shooting was prevalent. He never had to develop
Or
it.
steroids were tested more than once a year.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like defenses were a lot tougher to score on. Like teams were more focused, and we also had hand checking. Like it's impossible to compare the two flat, so we have to go with recency bias. That all said, Shea is that good. He doesn't need to flop. So when he flops, he invalidates the good parts of his game and he makes it less enjoyable to watch because when Shea was
Does he
younger and
though?
wasn't
Like,
flopping,
is he invalidating it, or is this just a normal part of the game now? Like,
I think he's invalidating it.
then so is Wemby and so is Jalen Brunson.
I didn't say they
It was
weren't.
the
I
actual
literally name dropped them like 5 seconds ago. I said
right.
Wembanyama before SGA. I just used SGA as an example because of his mid range. Like all of them. Jalen Brunson is the one I give more of a pass to, even though obviously he's a Knicks player and they beat us in the playoffs.
Because like you, he's a small man.
I'm not. So, like, with how small he is on the court, he does have to embellish a little bit because it's hard to see him. Like, it's hard to see through all these mountains of men. So, like, I get his embellishment more than I get the others. The others, like, it is egregious, it is awful, it is embarrassing. Throwing your head back when you actually get hit, I don't mind because you got hit in the face, you threw your head back, yes, you flopped, but, like, you just sold the contact that was already there. I don't have a problem with that. When people like call that flopping, that's not flopping. You got fouled. You just sold it. We had this problem in hockey where people were saying people were flopping because like they would get hit in the face with a stick and throw themselves to the ice. They got hit in the face. They sold it, but they still got hit in the face. It doesn't matter what they did. The other player committed a penalty. Like that is fine. It's when there's no one near you and you go flying to the ground that's a problem, which is what the others do. God, what was the point of this segue? We were talking about it, the free throw rule,
Yeah.
and
Whether
I
it's
was no, I was talking about the embellishment and if that like that needed to be addressed, and you said, oh no, it's just a part of the game. It's not a part of the game. It should not be a part of the game.
it is a part of the game.
It should not be. It on the rule book, it is not a part of the game, and that should be called. Let's get into free agency, and we're gonna fly through. We're not going through everything. I'm not your dad. I'm not telling you about Elijah Martin signing for the Toronto Raptors. If you want every transaction that has happened, because there have been a lot, find a fucking list. Okay? There's been too much for us to cover on an hour and a half, 2 hour podcast. We would be out of breath. We'd be tired. And we just don't want to do it. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot. But we're going to talk about a lot of them. So the first one on my list, because I'm going to go from bottom to top. And so we'll intermix some of like the bigger deal ones on here because I'm just going from the bottom to the top and addressing the ones I want to. And then we'll talk about the trades after. Because while free agency opened, a lot of trades did happen. Some of them related to players being signed, getting matched, and then getting signed and traded by their team to the other team. Anyway, first one on the list, Anthony Simons to the 76ers, 2 years, $12.3 million. This is one I do want to actually talk about because it is a good signing relative to the 76ers and everything else they've done. Last season, he averaged 15.2 on 43% shooting from the field, 32% from
Sixers
three.
may actually be my favorite roster in the East moving forward.
Okay. If you are an NBA fan, you already know that Jaylen Brown's there, so I'm not going to be like, oh, spoiler alert. I think this team has a lot of what ifs. a lot of really, really, really big what ifs. And I think that they, on paper, are by far the best team in the East. By far.
Yeah.
What
No,
is
that's right.
their projected starting lineup? It's Maxey, Simons, Brown. Who is that there for? Who is that there for?
Dean Wade.
Dean Wade. Dean Wade. Okay, I do like Dean Wade. And then
Same.
Joel Embiid.
Former Calf.
On paper, that's a really good team. Depth is one of the big question marks for me. Just because, like, right off. Oh no, wait, what the fuck am I thinking? They have VJ Edgecombe, so Anthony Simons is their sixth man. He's gonna be right off the bench.
Yep.
Dalen Terry, I like Dominic Barlow. I like Jabari Walker, and Adam Bona is gonna be backing up. So
I'm
this is
predicting
where
them to make it to the finals. Like, assuming Embiid is healthy, they're making it to the finals.
Okay, that's question mark number 2. Really, that's question mark number 1 because Embiid has not exactly been a mainstay of health. Because and more could happen during this offseason, but like the big name centers are off the board when it comes to free agency. If Joel goes down, yes, Maxey's amazing, VJ's amazing, Jaylen Brown's amazing, Dean Wade's good. But I don't know. I guess Jaylen Brown did drag that Celtics team on a good playoff attempt.
I think he's better than Tatum. Like, I've kind of like danced around the topic over the years, and like, no, I'm just gonna commit to it. I think Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum.
I can't commit to that. I think they're very close. I just think that it's a lot. Like, Jaylen Brown is a more complete player for sure. And I think, like me personally, I would rather have Jaylen Brown on a team I was building. But I don't think I can. I don't hate saying he's better, but I don't hate saying Jason Tatum is better. I think that either way you go, I think is a fair take. I think they are really close in skill level. But they have different skill sets. I think that overall Tatum is a better scorer, but Jaylen Brown is a more complete player. So maybe if you want to be that obvious, Jaylen Brown is the better player, sure. But Anthony Simons, obviously, he's going to be their sixth man. I thought he was going to be starting because I'm an idiot and forgot about VJ Edgecombe. So Anthony Simons off your bench, I don't hate that at all. He's fucking amazing as a sixth man.
I'm telling you, this is the best roster in the East right now.
Tobias Harris to the Spurs. We'll briefly talk about that. I like it for a depth veteran signing for the Spurs. They definitely needed a veteran.
It also showed some, like, well, how do I want to call this? Internal looking, because like that's the reason they lost that finals is because they were so young and they blew their emotional load in the conference finals against the OKC Thunder.
Phrasing.
I don't care about phrasing. You know this. I don't give a fuck, buddy.
Well, Jackson Hayes. Oh, you're still going on, Toby.
But no, I think that was a great signing for the Spurs, and I think they do need to look into more veteran players to help bolster that roster.
And the young guys need mentorship. Like, they're very, like, you could see it with like the Carter Bryants, especially. Like, it was a learning experience to get your ass kicked in front of the entire world. And they really have a friend to like pull them together when that was happening. And I don't like, it's Tobias Harris. It's not like it's some like great leader, but they didn't have anyone of that caliber. That
they didn't have anything. Yeah.
Jackson Hayes to the Utah Jazz.
No one cares.
In a vacuum, who cares? But they're probably gonna be their starting center. Kelly Oubre to the Pacers. This one I fucking love for a lot of reasons, like adding a secondary scorer off the bench for the Pacers. This is a Pacers team 2 years removed from the finals and will be fully healthy with the addition of Zubats.
You're going to lose to the Knicks.
Probably. I don't care. It's a good signing. John Isaac back to the Magic. We don't have the deals on that one, but sure. D'Anthony Melton to the Warriors. Sure. The Lakers. Back to back to back. Colin Sexton, Mamu, Quentin Grimes. This part of what the Lakers did this offseason, I love. These are all like really solid depth signings for a talented Lakers team. Hold your horses, because in a little bit I'm going to be talking about how stupid the Lakers are and Rob Pelinka should be fired. Mitch Robb to the Celtics, 3 years, $47 million. This one is probably my favorite pure free agency signing. Just because the Celtics needed a big. Mitchell Robinson was buried in the Knicks, and I think he fits very well on that team. The Jaylen Brown trade, like, it was supposed to be for a center. Like, that was the whole point, and then they shut the bed, and again, we'll shit talk the Celtics later, because who doesn't love shit talking big market teams, because that drives engagement. Celtics.
I don't like it. That's just
you don't like Mitchell Robinson
to the Celtics. Yeah, no.
So, like, who was a better starting caliber center? Because you would agree Mitchell Robinson is a starting caliber center. He's not a good one, but
okay.
You could you name 30 center like?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair.
Like, he was the best available.
I don't know I think. What the fuck does the Celtics starting lineup even look like? It feels like a lineup. It feels like they committed to Jason Tatum and then decided to make the roster that's not fit for Jason Tatum.
So it's gonna be Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, which they're planning or hoping for a big jump from Peyton Pritchard. Then it'll be Paul George, Jason Tatum, and Mitchell Robinson.
Does that sound like a Jason Tatum lineup to you, buddy?
No, absolutely not. There's no spacing.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it's a good trade, like, in execution. I'm saying, or a good signing in execution. I'm saying it's a great signing on paper, because there wasn't anyone better. I think it was like, I don't have all the details. Like, I have like the years and the max dollar amount, but I don't have all the signings. I think that third year is an option. So it's 3 years, $47 million, which, again, for a starting caliber center, 3 years, $47 million. That's not that bad. Celtics also did get Mike Conley, he's going to be coming off the bench behind Derek White, because this is not 2013 Mike Conley. This is old ass Mike Conley, one of 14 players to reach 20 seasons in the NBA. That's not, like, it doesn't matter. But I do like that, again, for having a veteran present, because if I walked in a locker room and Uncle Mike was standing there, sure, I'm on board. I will follow that man anywhere. And it's not just because I'm biased, because I'm from Indy. Vucevic back to the Magic. Sure. Norm Powell to the Bulls, 2 years, 45. Like that. John Collins to the Detroit Pistons, 3 years, $51 million. So, realistically, if you looked at unrestricted free agents, I think you could argue John Collins was the best UFA available, which is weird. It's a really weak class. But he's a floor spacing rim runner. He can rebound. He can play a small ball 5. When it comes to like what the Pistons are trying to do with their pace, I think that this might be my favorite fit signing of the day. And that feels like a cop-out, or just because I just said he was the best available UFA, and I'm saying that his signing was the best outcome. That's a cop-out, but I think in general the fit works. I wouldn't like him signing with a team like the Nuggets, or trying to think of another slow-ass team. I can't think of one right now. But in terms of like contending
the Warriors
teams, the Warriors aren't like snail pace though. They're slow, but they're not snail paced.
You said the Nuggets is one?
The Nuggets are definitely one. Besides Jamal,
76ers.
They don't really move. 76, yeah. I mean, Maxey. Maxey and BJ get out and run, but they're the only ones. They kind of play like how we play 2K. Marcus Smart to the Rockets, love that. He fits. Dean Wade to the 76ers, as we already addressed. Obviously, that's a good fit. Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Heat, 1 year, $6.5 million. I like that one mostly because I just really didn't know what the Heat were going to do. They don't really have a ton of space available.
This roster, I'm not a fan of the roster of the Heat. Like,
I think they are a playoff team. But again, that's a cop out because you have Giannis. Giannis will drag a team kicking and screaming to the playoffs. We saw it. It is the worst possible fit for Giannis. I agree. But who knows? The offseason isn't done yet. Because who is, like, what would their projected starting lineup be?
The Heat?
Yeah.
We need a guy in
the chair. We need a guy in the chair.
I know it's not good.
Davion Mitchell, Tim Hardaway Jr., Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam.
So bad, dude. It's so bad.
I like Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't like him as a starter. Davion Mitchell's nice. I don't hate. I can't. Okay.
I can hate on this lineup. This lineup has no spacing. Like, it has very good defense. That's the one thing I'll say about the lineup. It has elite defense outside of, like, Tim Hardaway. But, like...
So do you think that...
It's like if you plucked a team from the 90s and then told it to, like, transform to now. That's what this lineup looks like.
So here's the thing, though. This, like, look at the roster. It's basically if you had the grit and grind Grizzlies, but you also had Giannis and Bam. But Tim Hardaway Jr.
It's not going to go anywhere. Like, I don't understand what...
Do you agree?
I think the fact that people have aspirations for this team is lunacy. It's delusion. It's insane. It's just insane. Like, no. If you told me this team made it past the first round of the playoffs, I would be shocked. I would be less shocked if you told me this team didn't make the playoffs than telling me they made it past the first round of the playoffs. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. I think their ceiling is probably second round. But I think that their floor is a playoff, like at least a play-in team. Just because you have Giannis. Giannis will, like, go look at the Bucks rosters built around him. And the offseason's not over yet. They could flip Bobby Portis and Portis.
You've said that a scary amount of times in the 2 episodes we've recorded.
Why did I just say that like Forrest Gump? Portis.
I think you're smoking the hopium with the rest of the Heat Nation.
I'm not smoking the hopium. The East kind of is mid.
I see a lot of hopium.
Okay, so let's do an experiment. Eastern Conference. Playoff locks.
Yep.
So Knicks for sure.
I would prefer if you just said Heat or.
Okay, Heat or. Okay.
Go on.
Heat or Washington Wizards.
Right in the soul for this one. But it has Trey. Heat.
Heat or Bulls.
Right now, Heat.
Heat or Pistons.
Pistons.
Ugh.
Easily. Pistons easily.
Heat or Nets.
Nets.
The fuck? No, you're explaining that one.
So, what do you want me to explain? I think the depth on this Nets team is better than the Heat. Because you have Porter Jr. who can score. You have Julius Randle on this. Actually, no, I'm just crazy with that take.
You're looking.
Yeah, give it to the Heat. Give it to the Heat.
Mikael Brown Jr. is definitely better than. Hold on. Dayron Sharp is miles better than Bam. Jesus Christ. Hornets or Heat?
Oh God, the Heat. The
Okay, so
Hornets
the
have
Heat
no.
are the Heat are the bare minimum play-in team based on that. Like, and you're arguing like from that point, players, because again, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because
That
think
was
about
like giving you the Wizards as well, though, which I think there's a good chance the Wizards are actually better. I'm just not going to give Trae Young those flowers.
I don't think they are. Because again, you have a player. Like, think about this. I keep referencing 2K. You load up 2K27, you go to Play Now Online, you go to the all-time Heat, and who is the power forward? It's going to be Giannis. They added Giannis to that team. It's going to be Dwayne Wade at the 1. Why am I drawing a blank? Why am I drawing a blank? Why am I drawing a blank? What the fuck am
I'm
I
pretty
thinking
sure he
of?
plays the 2.
What?
I said I'm pretty sure if you loaded up 2K, Dwayne Wade plays the 2.
No, but I'm saying because now that Giannis is there, it moves LeBron down to the 3, so it's going to move everything down. Because
Oh,
hold on.
it would be Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler, LeBron
Yeah,
James.
Jimmy. Jimmy's the one I was forgetting.
Yeah,
Jimmy's
you
just so
forgot the
forgettable, you
Himony.
know.
That the person who actually brought like respectability back to the Heat after LeBron left. That guy, the guy who is more successful than Giannis and Bam are ever going to be with the Heat.
Oh,
That guy.
you added that caveat. You added that caveat because I was like, Giannis has a ring, like, which is one of my favorite things. The fact that the 76ers roster, like everyone in the starting lineup except Jimmy has a ring, and he made that whole deal. Tobias Harris over me. Shut the fuck up. You're ass. You're ass. I'm shit talking an injured person right now. That's great for my moral karma. Um,
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. We know.
depends on who you ask. Um, so yeah, I this Heat team is fine. They will be fine. They're a play-in team at minimum, a playoff team at worst.
I think there's more scenarios they're not a play-in team than they're a deep playoff team.
Um,
Just saying.
Kristaps
I'm just saying.
to the Warriors, 2 years, $40 million. Yusuf Nurkic to the Jazz, 2 years, 22. Champagny got a contract from the Spurs, 3 years, 45. Isaiah Hartenstein back to the Thunder, 3 years, 75. I mean, that's fair value for.
Bro, you got to close on RSS if you're using AI content now.
What?
That's wild.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Austin Reeves, 4 years, 185 million. We will talk about that one with the trade coming up.
That was a bad decision. That was a
Ayo
really
Dosunmu to the Timberwolves, 5 years, 112. Love that deal. Kobe White, 3 years, 74 million to the Hornets. CJ McCollum, 1 year, 21 million. So earlier today, I was thinking, because I'd heard that CJ had met with the Heat, and I thought he was going to take the veteran minimum to go be the point guard of the Heat, and that definitely would have raised their ceiling, because CJ can't lead a team, but he's definitely a good piece. But apparently he decided to go to the Hawks. I had not seen that yet, but 1 year, 21 million. That's really all the big ones. So let's get into these trades, because this is the big shit that's happened. So I'm gonna start with like the least dramatic to the most dramatic. Hornets, Miles Bridges, because we talked about LaMelo and Giannis in the last episode, right?
I believe we did, yes.
Yeah, we did. It's been a week.
It's been a very
Miles
long
Bridges, a
especially with the
2029.
heat wave. Well, you already talked about the heat
Yeah,
wave.
no, it's fucking horrible.
It is.
It's finally starting to cool down in here. And
Hey,
like
global warming doesn't exist, by the way, buddy.
we're not getting political.
You.
Join us for the No Reserves Political podcast at some point.
You would not want that. I would be so harsh.
We would get probably.
I would be such a dickhead. I would be such a dickhead.
I know we're not. No, we're not. We're not doing that. We're not doing this. We're not doing this right now.
Fine.
Hornets trade Miles Bridges, 2029 first, 2027 second to the Suns in exchange for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and an unprotected 2033 first round pick. First off, what the fuck? Again, I prefaced this earlier. I don't know if I said this before we recorded or it was just when you and I were talking before we started recording. I think every single big trade, one team got an A+ and one team got an F+. This trade for the Hornets is amazing. You get out of a woman beater because fuck Miles Bridges. Like, just fuck Miles Bridges. I don't care if he's good at putting the ball in the hoop. Fuck Miles Bridges.
Like, who's getting
I'm going to say it one
now?
last time. Fuck Miles Bridges. There is nothing political about saying you should not hit a woman. Like, what the fuck? That is the bar. It's like saying you should not kill people. You don't need to write that down. Fuck Miles Bridges. You give up a 2029 first, which you're the Hornets, so like, sure. But you're getting back an unprotected, and I don't know what the protections are. There are protections on that 2029 first. If it is like top 10 protected, that is even better. If it's lottery protected, it's better. And then an unprotected 2033 first round pick from the Suns. The Suns are going to be like, Devin Booker is 30 years old. 33 is what? 5 years from now? 6 years from now? That pick's valuable. That's a very valuable pick.
So much.
Oh, you're talking about Miles Bridges, and I was about to jump through the fucking screen. I'm just.
Oh, I'm talking about
you
Devin.
Were about to get your ass beat live on No Reserves. No Reserves ass beating podcast.
You couldn't beat my ass, bitch boy.
I am a lot faster than you. It's like Oberon Martell versus the Mountain, except
he lost.
I wouldn't. He lost because of hubris. He did not lose because he was. No Reserves Game of Thrones podcast coming soon. I love this trade for the Hornets just because you get rid of the woman beater. You get a really fucking valuable 2033 first round pick. Royce O'Neal, I like. Grayson Allen is also a piece of shit, but hey, you're the Hornets. Who cares? Just build for the future. From the Suns, you get a protected 2029 first, and you get a woman beater. Way to go. Good job, Phoenix. On a roll today.
And this one's your trade. You're definitely got more bangers with this trade than I do. So
you know which one I'm going to do next?
Oh no.
Memphis Grizzlies trading 2-time All-Star Ja Morant, Demetrius to the Portland Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Okay, actually, I said earlier one team got an A+, one team got. I don't like this trade for either people. One, Ja Morant's value. Like, if you had told me Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray would have been,
it's like, almost at Trae Young levels. So, like, that's wild.
There's no.
That's the floor, by the way. There's no lower than that. But regardless, like, what is the Trailblazers' obsession with these small fucking guards?
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm not going to Google what their projected starting lineup is, but it is small. Like, it is really fucking small. It's smaller than
Google that. I'm curious about this.
It's probably going to be Dame, Ja, Drew. And you're going to have Klingon at the 5, but I can't think who they're going to have at the 4. And I don't know if they're just going to try to, like, again, play 2K. Like, they're going to have 4 shooters surrounded by a rebounder. Or surrounding a rebounder. It doesn't take this...
This is an interesting lineup.
What's it showing?
On ESPN. This is ESPN, so don't come at me for this one. It shows Scoot Henderson at the point guard, Drew at the shooting guard, Kamara at the small forward, Denny at the power forward, and Clinigan at the center.
Okay,
Meaning they have Ja coming
there's
off
no
the
way.
bench. And Shaden
Hold on.
Sharp. Go ahead.
That's got to be an old. That's an old. Hold on. Projected. This is why you're not the man in the chair.
Exactly.
So the projected starting lineup is Ja, Dame, Denny, Tumani, and then Klingon. Which you're really just 1A, 1Bing your guards there, because I would expect Damian Lillard. At this point in the career, I think Ja is probably a better ball handler and better facilitator.
So wait, they're gonna bring Shaden Sharp off the bench?
Yep. And Drew, and that's actually a really fucking good bench, though. That's a really fucking good bench.
It is a very good bench for guard.
Oh, God, who's their backup big? Who is their backup big? Hold on. I actually might really like this Trailblazers lineup. Who is backing them up? Yang Hansen. Oh, never mind. No, they got Brandon Carlson. They did get Brandon Carlson. They did sign him. I forgot about that. He's not amazing, but he's a better backup.
Please say this rumor is false.
I really like this team. What's the rumor? By the way, if we're recording Thursday, we're releasing Friday, so whatever happens between now and then, fuck you, I guess.
There's a third team in the LeBron sweepstakes, and it's the Heat.
No shit. It's been
literally from day one. I thought it was Warriors, Cavs.
No, it was Warriors, Cavs, Heat, and then Bron told Rich Paul to talk to every single team in the NBA. So there is like a less than 1% chance that man ends up in a Pacers uniform, which I would love. Not like, again, not from just the basketball standpoint, because obviously LeBron would like, that is an ideal fit for LeBron. If we're being honest, like going to play with that Pacers team, slotting into that Aaron Nesmith role, that is the perfect fit for LeBron. It's not going to happen. But I want it for the crash out I would see in the Pacers fandom, because like these people vehemently hate that man.
Yep.
They hate LeBron, and to see them do that about face would be hilarious. I went through that phase. I'm not gonna lie. During the Paul George era, I shit talked LeBron, and then I got old enough to be like, oh wait, no, he's actually good. Like, I don't care. Hate the man. Fuck him. But I respect him.
Such a hater.
It's not hate. It's a love-hate relationship. It's an abusive, toxic relationship. He beats the shit out of my team. But no, I actually really like this Trailblazers lineup. I thought it was worse than that. But if Ja's your third option, I don't mind that. And then you have Scoot coming off the bench. Like it has a lot of injury protection. So fuck it. I actually like that trade. Jeremy Grant, I don't think is a bad NBA player, but his contract is one of the worst in the NBA. So just based on contract, that's a terrible deal for the Grizzlies. I don't really know what the Grizzlies are trying to do. It's like they're trying to retool, but also rebuild, but also just get away from the drama that is Ja Morant, which I don't blame them, because there's a solid chance that man's going to start listening to Youngboy tonight and be banned for the entire season. So, fuck it. Kawhi to the Raptors for Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 2 second-rounders.
Change my pick. This is my Eastern Conference Finals team.
The Raptors?
It happened the last time.
It did happen the last time, but he was a lot younger. I like this from both sides, and I like this from, like, obviously the Toronto Raptors are adding a... Did you just say 1 second, put your mic down while we were recording?
No.
Oh, my God. You dead ass. I thought you just said 1 second and walked away in the middle of recording, and I was about to lose my... Like, I was about to have a full-blown crash out live.
I do wish I would have just committed and not said anything.
Oh, my God. We're going to glance behind the curtain here. This fucker does that every time we're playing like video games or whatever. He will not say shit, and anyone in our group, if Austin ever comes back to the podcast, he can validate this. He will just set his headset down, walk away, and we will not know where the fuck he went. He won't respond to messages in the group chat. He doesn't respond to shit, and then he just sits down like 3 hours later, like nothing fucking happened. And full disclosure, I was leaving work today, and I said, "Oh, I'm about to leave," and then I got hung up. He messaged in the group chat, "Oh, an hour late." Bitch, you do that shit in real time. Fuck off. Back to the Raptors Clippers trade. So I like this from the Clippers because they are getting so much more back than they got for acquiring Kawhi. The thing I don't like is the fact that all under the table payment shit that was going on, the investigation, nothing's going to come of it now because he's no longer on the Clippers, and I feel like Adam Silver's just going to sweep that shit under the rug.
Yep.
From the Clippers standpoint, you get Brandon Ingram, who Brandon Ingram is a very, very good NBA player. Grady Dick, who's a young player who could grow into a star. I don't think he's ever going to be a superstar, but he could be like one of those players that's like a second option on a championship team, third option maybe.
Like Austin Reeves.
And then 2 first. Like, no, not even Austin Reeves. We'll get to Austin Reeves in a minute. Shut the fuck up. 2 first-round picks, valuable. Pick swap, whatever. It's with the Raptors. They're getting older. I think that is specifically... I don't think the Raptors are trading another pick that they have pick swap rights in. I think that is just with the Raptors. I don't have the year on that one, but if it is decently enough in the future to where Kawhi is going to be old and retired, I like that. So I actually do like this trade for both teams. This is one of the few that I actually have liked so far. Those are very few and far between right now when it comes to teams that have made trades so far. Obviously, we are in the first trimester of free agency and the off season, so a lot's going to happen between now and opening tip-off in October. Oh, God. Now the ones I've been wanting to talk about since they happened. Do we start with the Lakers or do we start with the Celtics? I feel like it's the Lakers. I feel like the Lakers are the better trade of the two. I think the Celtics shit the absolute bed. Great talk. We're starting with the Lakers.
You cut me off literally as I was about to say we're starting with the Lakers.
He's going to edit that to make it seem like there wasn't a pause. There was a solid 5, 6
I'm not going to edit it.
He's going to edit it. There was a massive pause. I got frustrated.
You got impatient. That's what you did. You got impatient.
I did get impatient.
You didn't let me set the tone, set the mood. You didn't let me get my cadence in.
Anyone listening?
No, we're moving on. We're going to
anyone listening was checking their cell service to make sure that they were still receiving our podcast because you fucked up.
Breath and allow yourself room to talk. It's all good.
No reserves.
We're starting with Lakers.
That's coming soon. That's gonna be a new bit until I get tired of it, which is this episode. So it's not gonna happen after this. The Lakers are acquiring Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz for unprotected first-round picks in 2031, 2033, first-round swaps in 2028, 2030. Kessler will sign a massive 4-year, $130 million deal with the Lakers. So, what had happened was the Jazz had a number for what they were willing to spend on Walker Kessler. The Lakers had a higher number, and the Lakers offered that number to Walker Kessler. The financial side of it, basically, the Jazz were able to give a better deal in a sign and trade than flat out losing him for nothing. Get that part. That I get it. Okay. This is a desperation move from the Lakers. This is an F-. This isn't even an F+. This is an F- signing from the Lakers. I like Walker Kessler. If it was not Zubats, I wanted Walker Kessler on the Indiana Pacers. I like Walker Kessler. I'm going to say it again. I like Walker Kessler. This is the worst this might I'm not going to say it's worse than the other trade because the other trade is way worse, which means I'm not going to say it's worse than the Luka trade. This is one of the worst trades I've ever seen in my life. And if you're just looking at it on face value, you're saying that Walker Kessler is a young RFA, so blah, 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 first round pick, so whatever. The Lakers have $500 million, $500 million tied up into Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, and Walker Kessler now.
And that's their core.
That's their core. This is a we've got to keep Luka happy trade because he wants a high usage pick and roll big. And that's what Walker Kessler is. Now, granted, Kessler can shoot, and it's not great, but he can shoot. He's a rim protector, blah, 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 whatever. He wants a roll man, and this is the prototypical roll man. I get that. This was a move Rob Pelinka made in an effort to keep Luka Doncic. The problem I have with this is the Lakers now have no tradable first-round picks for the next 7 years.
Yep.
They have, I think, 2 first-round picks in general in the next 7 years because of pick swaps. Luka Doncic is on contract for this upcoming season. We will get through the next free agency, and then he's under contract for the next season. If Luka Doncic leaves the Los Angeles Lakers at the end of his contract, you have completely fucked the Lakers for...
Is this your wet dream, Rehn? Is this what you always wanted?
I do like I would love that because I do love big market teams getting, I made a hint.
I know.
It would make more sense. But as a basketball fan, I hate that because like the Lakers drive revenue creates parity. So this could backfire on the Lakers, and I would love that from the stance of a small market fan. But just the ridiculousness of the signing or the trade, the signing and the trade. I go back to draft night and people were shit talking the Pacers because the Pacers ended up losing their pick in the lottery because they traded for Zubats, and it's Zubats. It's not Ivica Zubac. Everyone says Zubac. It's Zubats with a T, even though there's a C in the name. Hots.
Zubat.
Yeah, Zubat is closer than Zubac.
Yeah.
Zubats. It's those foreign names. People struggle with them. You couldn't say Wembanyama forever. You can't even say Jokic.
You're right. I can't. And I won't.
Like you actually can't like dunk on people for this. Zubats. But fans were shit talking the Pacers because of that trade. It was Benedict Mathurin, a lottery protected or a top 4 protected first. It was 439, but it was top 4 because the Pacers were ass. And that pick in the lottery fell to 5, so they lost that pick. Everyone that I would have wanted 1 through 4 was gone. The 5th pick doesn't matter. Like the 5th pick could be anything. It could even be a player like Zubats, a player that's in the all defensive conversation and defensive player of the year conversations and averaging 15 points in the NBA. It could be that player, or you could just trade for that player. Sports fans are dumb. Potential is great. Potential is not always reached. Like, Ja Morant looked like a really quality NBA player. Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz. Like, if you are basing your entire value on a trade of, like, draft night, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that was mean. But it's true. Like, you cannot grade a trade actively when it comes to first-round picks until after those picks have happened. In this case, I'm absolutely gonna. Because the Lakers have no picks. They can't make those picks. They can't trade those picks. They can't do shit with those picks. But they overpaid for Walker Kessler. But that's how like stingent the center market is right now. So what would you grade this trade?
Terrible. Like,
do you agree with me? It's an A+ for the Jazz and then an F- for the Lakers.
Like, they were going to lose him anyway. Like, they weren't willing to pay him that money.
No.
That's the best way I can describe it. There's no other, like, they didn't value him at that number. The Lakers did. And not only that, not only were they not willing to match that, they got future first out of this deal on top of that. I don't understand it.
Future valuable first, because there's no telling 2028, 2030, or 2031, 2033. Again, 2033 is a very long time from now.
Yeah, you're right.
Luka's going to be older. Luka might not even be there. The Lakers could be absolute shit in 2031, let alone 2033. Those long-term picks are very valuable from any team. Because, like, the way sports work is there are, like, obviously, like, teams that defy the odds, but in general, you're going in highs and lows. You're a bad team, you draft high-quality players. You're a good team, those players get old. You're a bad team, you do it over and over again. Like, that's sports. Lakers are going to be bad. Probably. It's still the Lakers. If they have the cap, like, if they lose Luka, they're going to have Luka's cap space to spend in free agency, and it's Los Angeles. Like, but the reason they drafted Lonzo Ball number 2 overall is they weren't good at one point in time. It happens. And now, for the only trade I think that rivals the Luka Doncic trade.
This is wild.
It's up there. It is up there. Jaylen Brown for Paul George and 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, but
I'm pretty sure that the second round picks are pick swaps.
Yeah, both of them are pick swaps. I was about to say, I don't think, do we know, like, what the actual first rounds are? I just have...
Hold on.
I just
Jaylen.
have... We're doing great at this.
Yeah.
I don't have... Hold on, I'm just going to ask Google AI. Boston gets a 2028 first-round pick, which may convert to a swap if more favorable to the Celtics. An unprotected 2031 first-round pick. 2 second rounds are 2028 and 2033, and both are
3
best
pick
available
swaps,
from 3 teams.
1 pick, and Paul George?
Yeah. So I feel like... So here's the thing. The Celtics' hands were tied. I totally fucking get that, because you let it out.
It leaked.
Or someone in your organization let it out that you were throwing Jaylen Brown into a Giannis offer.
Yes.
Can you imagine that front office that's in talks to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the very next week you're settling on Paul George? Not prime Paul George. Current Paul George. And Paul George was nice after he came back from the suspension or injury or whatever he missed time for last year. I don't remember what it was last year. Was it the PEDs thing? I think it was the PEDs thing.
It was PEDs.
But he was nice when he came back. But it's still current day old ass Paul George. It's not 25-year-old Paul George anymore.
This is just like I said, I am going to stand on business and say that Jaylen Brown is better than Tatum. So you are trading one of the best players in the NBA, period.
Right.
For Paul George, a first-round pick, and a bunch of... It's asinine.
No, it's a terrible trade. It is, like, that's why we left it for last. It is the worst
It's also
trade.
so disrespectful. Like, how many times... And I get it, they had to do it. But how many times did Jaylen Brown, when Tatum went down, like, carry that team on his back, take the load, do everything that he needed to do to make sure that the Celtics were successful? When Tatum went down, you didn't even think they were going to be a playoff team last year, Rehn. Think about that. You didn't even think they were going to be a playoff team last year. Jaylen Brown stepped up his game, became one of the best players in the East, and the Celtics made the playoffs. I'm pretty sure, didn't they get the number 1 seed?
And the East was ass.
Regardless, you didn't think they were going to be a playoff team, and they finished as the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and I stand by that, actually.
Think about it. Like, no.
You got too loud, your mic cut out.
No, it's just...
It's crazy. As I said, I don't think I said that. Was that fucking before? I keep like transposing like conversations we were having right before we recorded with when we started recording. I don't think that you're wrong to say Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum, but if someone told me Jason Tatum was better than Jaylen Brown, I wouldn't think they're wrong. I think they are very close in skill level. I just think that Jaylen Brown is a more complete player, so if you want to say he's the better player, I totally get it. For me, I think Jason Tatum is the better player.
You still traded one of them for scraps.
Yes, but like we don't know. We don't have all the details yet. Like, if you told me you were trying to trade me to another podcast and I got pissed and said you're trading me to whoever I want you to, you kind of have to, because otherwise I'm just going to start fucking selling. I don't care. Lower my value. So, like, we don't know if Jaylen Brown went to Brad Stevens and said, look, you're trading me. Like, that was disrespectful. You were trying to use me as a bargaining chip, and I don't want to be here anymore, so I'm gone. That lowers your value. That said, that doesn't mean it's a better trade. That does not make it a better trade. It is still a god-awful trade for the Celtics. But we don't have all the details yet. But if I was the Celtics, I would have been throwing everything I could to get Giannis, except one of the Jays. You keep one of them, you throw whatever else. Because whether it's Jaylen Brown and Giannis or Jason Tatum and Giannis, that's a team that I think is competing for a championship. Because I think
Instead he gets to go on the Heat, who are scrambling to figure out what their lineup's going to look like. And until then, it's going to look like a 90s roster plopped into modern day.
It's fine. It's fine. Bam has gotten better. Hold on. Let me just fact check this.
It's not fine. It's so not fine.
I think Bam Adebayo has improved his 3-point percentage every single year in the NBA. I'm just going to fact check that before I say it out loud. I mean, yeah. Besides last year.
It's so not fine.
Besides last year, he's improved every year. So what would you grade the Celtics and the 76ers? I think the 76ers obviously get an A+. I know I talked it up, but I feel like if we're going to attach an asterisk to the F- for the Celtics, just because I feel like if Jaylen Brown demanded a trade and demanded he go to Philadelphia, that increases it to a C- because you did at least get picks out of it.
I'm going to put it as got more than Trae Young. And
Got more than Trae Young. What else you want to talk about? Because that took way less time than I thought it was going to take.
Didn't you say you had to be somewhere at 450?
Ish. 450. So, I mean, we could start wrapping it up. We've got.
It took as much time as you thought it was going to, but
I feel like we did fly through some of it, but like it's still like we are still relearning this. It's been a while since we've been here with you every week. This is, I think, the first back-to-back episode in well over a year. So you're welcome, inglorious peons.
Trying to sound like me now. I guess we can go back to talking about.
We got a few minutes.
I think you were right last week. I'm going to say this. I should have done like some kind of accent or something to make it sound different. The problem is I do not have a good New York accent.
Oh, when you were pretending to be a New York stan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Have you worked on that? It was so bad. I've worked on it a little bit. I'm not ready to bring it out yet, but there will be segments in the future where we will have Rehn, the Pacer fan, talk to a New Yorker.
Again, no reserves beatdown podcast coming soon. Like you're just gonna like. No, you know what? Fuck it. That's gonna be a bit.
That's totally gonna be a bit. You get to talk about Jalen Brunson and how he's better than Tyrese. Huh?
No, No reserves blank podcast coming soon.
Oh,
That's a bit. That's gonna be a bit. I was gonna just do it this one episode, but no, fuck it. That's a bit. I like
it's
it.
a full-on bit.
It's a full-on bit. No reserves bit podcast coming soon.
Okay, Rick.
No. You're not. If you do a New York accent on this podcast, also you haven't brought out the soundboard the entire time we've been back, and I appreciate that.
Adaptation. We'll keep the streak going for now.
Yeah, no, let's keep it going. Like I fully appreciate that. So guys, we've now been back 2 weeks in a row. We're gonna be back next week, Fridays. Right? You got the notification because you turned on your notification, so you know that we posted Friday morning at what time?
7 a.m.
I don't know that. 7 a.m. I didn't know that part. I told someone 6 a.m., but 7 a.m. 7 a.m. every Friday
And
going forward.
You failed someone, Rehn.
I didn't know. I didn't know because I didn't ask, and that's on me. That's a learning experience for me. If you don't ask questions, you don't know answers. Always ask questions. No Reserves Life Advice Podcast coming soon.
Crazy.
It's gonna get really annoying really quickly, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Because as the episode goes on, and I have to listen to you again reference Trae Young and disrespect Trae Young for no reason, I open another drink. And
so to be fair, like we did avoid the Trae Young rant today. We did avoid.
We
the
did. We did avoid
I
a
just
Trae
took some
Young
spot
rant.
shots. I definitely took some spot shots, but
You
I didn't
tried.
say anything ridiculous.
I did not allow you to do it. You tried. You 100%
I did not try.
were-
I did not try. That was not trying. I took pot shots.
So this is the point where if we were on YouTube, if we were doing a YouTube video, I would ask the editor to show a scoreboard of how many times you referenced more value than Trae Young in a contract or signing. It would be a lot. We're not there yet. We get there eventually. There will eventually be a YouTube thingy. I don't know what that is yet. It'll be there eventually. We will eventually.
You're so meant for this.
We will eventually get there. We're working on it. We're learning. We're growing still. We've been doing this for like 3 years now, on and off. We did like 2 years probably total time, but learning, growing, that's onward, forward. Do it. Yeah, you've been doing it with Alex for a while, and then Alex abandoned you like I did.
Yeah, everyone abandons.
I abandoned you because you were trying to abandon Austin and I.
No, I think you just misunderstood what I was asking.
But... No. Because we had the conversation with Austin, and Austin shared the receipts where you basically said, no, you guys are doing basketball because I'm doing football. That 100% happened. But no. I was joking about it earlier, but we are 100% going to try to do a No Reserves Baseball podcast. I am going to be fully transparent. I am relatively new to being a baseball fan. So essentially what the podcast is going to be is the reverse of this. Angelo is going to lead it. He doesn't know that yet. He probably assumed because you should assume that because you 100% know more about baseball than I do. But he's going to lead it. It's basically going to be someone that actually understands the game and a new person to it. Because I am a very recent, legitimate baseball fan. Like, I've always, followed the Royals. But it's never been, a thing I actually invested time in, and now I do. So, I'm, not entry level. I can talk about other teams and other players, but I don't know shit like they do.
You'll fit right in. Baseball is pretty much the, you and Riley already had the conversation. But his war, man. But these advanced metrics, these players, you're perfect for baseball. You're so perfect for baseball. You are the dweebiest dweeb. You are the right kind of dweeb to be a baseball fan.
I'm just telling you, the fucking moment you reference an advanced statistic in baseball, it's fucking over for you. You understand that, right? Because the amount of times I've talked about advanced metrics in the NBA and you're like, oh, that doesn't matter. The moment you talk about This player on a Tuesday in the rain hits 37 home runs per 9. You're fucking done. I'm just fucking telling you. Veterans of our show will
You're
know.
perfect for a baseball fan.
Veterans of the show will know.
You will know. You know these things.
Outside of that, football is on hiatus, right?
Yes.
It's currently on hiatus. I'm assuming it will be back at some point when Alex figures stuff out.
Maybe.
We might dabble in like a once a year hockey thing. I don't think we would ever commit like time to that. Like maybe like specials like throughout the season, you and I. But we're not as like locked into hockey. Like I follow it. I follow the Penguins, and like I think you follow the Blue Jackets occasionally. And my God, the fact that you shit talk me for being a Pacers or a Royals fan when you're a goddamn Blue Jackets fan, fuck you.
Yeah, it's been painful, buddy. It's been painful.
Yeah. So we'll do maybe a special at some point about hockey throughout the season. We're not touching soccer. We are not touching soccer. That's a big fucking market, but like we football. But we ain't know that. Y'all should watch Ted Lasso though. By the way, just FYI, it's a soccer show. 10 out of 10. Apple TV. It's like an 11 out of 10. That's your life advice for the day. Besides that, or do we have any other updates? Baseball podcast coming soon. That's the only actual legitimate podcast coming soon. We're not gonna like commit to a timeline on that, right? Like we're not gonna be like, oh, we're gonna post one episode a week. It'll probably be once a month.
Yeah, we'll just feel like we have content for it.
Yeah, we'll establish a timeline for that, but it's not gonna be a once a week thing. I don't even think we would even commit to bi-weekly right now, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Hockey once a year, maybe. Who knows? Football on hiatus. Soccer, fuck no. I like soccer. I think you like soccer, but that is two idiots talk about things they don't know shit about. If we did that, and I'm not.
It'd be funny. It'd be entertaining.
Pretend fighting. Do you still do that? I don't know if you do that. Okay, no more pretend fighting. Thank fuck.
It's all gone. Everything's gone. It's just we're back to bare bones right now.
We're back to just real sports. I'm so happy. As weird as it sounds, we should totally get into F1. We should just do fucking racing podcasts. Like that is a massive market.
F1.
Those people have money. Those people have money too. We could ask like to set up the Patreon again, do all of that. We are just wasting y'all's time at this point. This is like if you are still here at this point, thank you. Don't know why, but thank you. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening to our little free agency podcast. We will be back next Friday at 7 a.m. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, follow, notification, whatever all the people tell you to do on other platforms, do them on the platform you're on because it does help us with the algorithm overlords. Socials, we're going to stop pretending those are a thing. Are they powered by AI?
I imagine they have to be, right?
Oh, I don't even have the logins right now because I was gone for a year. I asked him for the logins for all the shit, and he was like, I'll get it to you. I'll just keep you updated. He never gave them to me. He never gave me access to the shit. I don't have access.
But to be fair, like I did offer them before we started.
That's tonight. He offered them before we started recording tonight. So if you interact with Rehn on one of the fucking platforms, it's not me. It's Angelo pretending to be me. He's catfishing you. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. It is not me right now. He will not give me the shit. I am being held hostage. This is a cry for help. SOS. Thank you. Love you. See you next week.